Item B, press release, Bears Ears Monument. Robert.
Jeremy and I are members of the Blanding Area Travel Council. As we met last week, the topic of the National Monument Bears Ears designation came up. We had a reasonably robust conversation and discussion. And I think it's fair to say that the conclusion was that the Travel Council believes that the final chapter in this saga of the Bears Ears has not been written. Declarations, December 23rd, whatever date it may have been, is not the end of the story. And the Travel Council suggested, and I agreed, and that's why we're bringing it up tonight, that we the people and the city of Blanding in particular need to have a quick response, a clear response, and to get our voice out in front of whatever decisions are going to be made. The process continues, it's evolutionary, and we want to be part of that process, and we want our voice to be heard. So the suggestion was made that we make a press release to represent Blanding, that we get our opinion out. Jerry and I sat down, we came up with a first draft of a press release. The intent is to get this press release out quickly to as many sources as possible, not just county and state, but nationwide. We need our voices heard at all levels of decision makers. And we want to invite ourselves to be part of that process. So we have a first draft in the packet. I'm going to read this since it's not up on the board. It's short. And for those in the audience, you'll get to hear it. I'll read it slowly so you can ponder what's been written. Now, my suggestion tonight, and this is going to be obvious to council members, is this is a first draft. It is not a definitive statement. The council needs to comment. They need to craft and make a statement that all of the members can sign and back. So this is just a first effort. But again, we feel it's important to be ahead of the curve, that the city needs to be upfront on our opinions and our state. Well, we did get it. Well, I'll still read it. I need practice. But we want our opinion out there. So it says, again, as first draft, on December 28, 2016, President Obama designated the Bears Ears National Monument by proclamation. Blanding City opposed a monument created by presidential proclamation because it ignored the wishes of local people and the representation of elected officials at the city, county, and state levels. The massive area encompassed by the monument is beautiful and pristine because of the care taken by generations of residents who have lived in and loved this area for generations, and not due to government management. No one loves this land more than those who choose to call it home. Since the monument proposal was suggested to the people of Blanding, regardless of ideology, race, or social background, have become more united as they worked tirelessly to oppose a monument designation. We will continue to do what has been done since the founding of our community and work to shape the future of Blanding into a place we will continue to love. We agree that this is a special place. We have always been pleased to share the amazing landscape with all who appreciate its beauty and diversity. Regardless of what the future may hold for the Bears Ears Monument, we will continue to strive to make Blanding a community that reflects the values of family, heritage, and outdoor recreation. That's the first draft. And now council needs to do what it does best. Give comment and craft a document you're pleased with.
To start off with, it's a great statement if the Blanding City Council is making it. But if you're going to send out a letter that I'm going to sign, it's going to represent Blanding City. This would represent the majority of Blanding, 70%. It would kick dirt in the eyes of 30% of the people in Blanding. 30% of the people of Blanding did not work tirelessly. Well, 10% of the people of Blanding didn't work tirelessly for this. Maybe 50 people did, a small group. They worked tirelessly to defeat this. I oppose the monument. I oppose it because I don't believe in big government taking over little people. But there are 25-30% of this community that is all in favor of that monument.
You really think it's that high?
I think it's that high.
I don't think there's any chance it's that high.
I don't think there's 200 cars in Blanding that have the no monument sign.
You don't think that there is 200?
No, I don't.
I'm not. I would say that there probably is 200, but even if there's not, just because they don't have a sticker doesn't mean that there's
That's right. I don't have one in mind, but I oppose the monument. But there is 25 to 30% of the people that want that monument, that would vote for that monument, and if we were to have an election today, we would not have more than 70-75% that would vote for it. So I won't go along with a letter that says the people of Blanding regardless of, and I love that because regardless of, we do get together, but the people of Blanding, regardless of all of these things, don't support no monument. The majority do. And if you represent the majority, which this table does, this table, we were elected by the majority of the people. So we have a majority. But we have the responsibility to speak for all the people, 100%. Not just the 70% that elected me, whatever percent elected you. We have a majority. We have a responsibility to everyone else. That's my opinion.
So if you just worded it to say the majority of the people, rather than, because you can't make a statement that represents everyone because there's a diversity of opinions.
That's right, you can't.
So you'd say not make a statement at all.
There was a ton of people in this county that were very much maddened, disappointed, saddened by Commissioner Adams' statement the day after that was made.
Mayor, I think that's fair of the
Where
county.
he said every citizen in this county is adamantly opposed. And he said that. And I know why he said that. It was an emotional thing. He's adamantly opposed. His friends are. We, as a council, have been adamantly opposed. But that's not the kind of thing I want to put out that I'm doing. Because there are those in this community as well as this county that don't appreciate that, us talking like that. We need to represent them. They may not ever have a voice on the council because they won't run for office and they might not get elected if they did. I still know they're there and they still talk to me.
Well, they were there when we issued our statement opposing the designation in the first place.
So that was issued by the council and we have a right and we can do that today. If this council wants to issue a statement opposing it, adamantly opposing it, we can do it as a council. We're not speaking for the citizens. Not for all of the citizens, not for the people of Blanding. That's my opinion.
I think that the idea of this press release was three things, and we're always walking a fine line, and I think you're bringing that up. The city council opposed it. The city council continues to oppose it for the reasons that we stated in the first paragraph. But the other two things that we were trying to bring up, and hopefully it came through in the letter, is number two, this has never been a real easy place to live, and the people of Blanding have always kind of taken what they have and done the best they could with it, and they'll continue to do that with or without a monument designation. And then third, this is still a friendly place. It's still a place that, people shouldn't be afraid to come and visit and interact with the people here. And sometimes we get that black eye that, we're unfriendly to visitors. And so we were trying to kind of walk all those lines, and I hope that it did that. But
this last paragraph is really good.
It certainly won't represent everybody.
That last paragraph represents everybody. I
They're,
believe we do want people. We welcome people. It's just kind of a sad thing that this property that I'm not from Blanding, but I've lived in southern Utah my whole life. I was born and raised in southwestern Utah. It's kind of sad, all this protection. We have protected this property all of our lives. Our fathers have, our grandfathers have, and now we want to invite 5 billion more people into it to protect it even more. My mind doesn't comprehend that, but no, I like to say, I do represent the people, and I won't speak and say that the people of Blanding are opposed to the monument. The majority are. If we want to say the majority are opposed, agreed.
Is that a change anybody's opposed to?
No, I think that's a good change.
The city of Blanding instead of the people of Blanding.
Could you put the
The city of
majority?
Blanding's not opposed. The city council of Blanding's opposed.
So we just added the majority of the people.
Yeah.
You can say a majority if you'd like.
Yeah,
That's
for
a fair
semantics, I mean, it is the technicality of language. You say
Well,
the
it's a
city is
technicality, but
opposed,
people take
and that would
offense
mean
nowadays.
100%, which is what
People take
Adam
offense.
said. Yeah, you can't say that because that technically means every single person, which you can't say because it's obviously not true. But the last part of that first paragraph, generations is redundant there.
Yeah. When you read it out
So
loud,
just take out generations of, taken care of by residents who have lived in and loved this area for generations. Just those two words out and that's all.
perfect.
And I mean, I think the mayor's point is valid. It was implying that every single person living in Blanding is opposed, which is was obviously not true.
It's true.
And if you say the majority, then that's a true statement. It makes it accurate.
But
And you are way ahead of the curve because you're going to publish this on January 10th, 2015.
Thank you.
I
But
already
you are
expected
opposed
the
to
right
representatives
to
of
raise
the city of Blanding.
This is a good discussion so far, but we got to stop for a minute. I'd like a motion to move into public hearing. Think about what we're talking about. We'll come back to it in
Thank
just
you,
a
Mayor.
minute. Okay, I'll take a motion, move back to regular meeting.
Make a motion to move back to regular meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, we go back to regular meeting, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we can continue the discussion on the letter for release on the Bears Ears National Monument.
I'd like to have a thought that, speaking for myself, I would like to push the boundaries of propriety, put as much teeth into this document as possible. I would not be opposed to having the letter say the City Council of Blanding. I wouldn't be opposed to putting my face to this document.
Well, so that second line, Blanding City Council proposed, you insert the word council.
I
I
would.
think the mayor's point is well taken.
I think it's fair.
We might understand what that says, but technically what it says is every single person, which is not true. It's
And I think
council.
that's fair, but I think City Council needs to stand up and take a stand. That would be competitive.
So like that then.
I like that it's
I think
not
that's
real
better.
toothy. I like that it's got some softness to it because we want to state the case that there's reasons why we oppose the way this thing has happened, but we like people to come, and I think that this is saying that more or less. We have a handout here, but you'll have to wait till open forum unless the mayor wanted to open it to have somebody interject.
Well, we'll take that in just a minute when we get to open forum.
Right.
But
Jeremy's done a wonderful job crafting this. I would just suggest, as I said, I like some teeth.
actually, I think what Councilmember Lyman is saying has real merit in that we want people, if this is going to be a monument, let's welcome them with open arms to come into Blanding and
Take the greatest advantage of it.
take the advantage of everything we can get from what's happening. I mean, we've got, Rainbow Bridge National Monument. Out here, this
Natural bridges.
Natural Bridges National Monument. Hoven Week, out on the, we are just covered with national monument stuff. I mean, I don't know that we want to get, and if they appeal it and decided that not to do it, I'm fine with that.
Well, we have a lot of city groups working towards that very goal of making this ours. The concern, I think, from a lot of people is what's being taken away by that. What potential livelihood of our neighbors, our friends, our families?
Does anybody really know?
We don't.
It's all unknown right now.
We don't, and but potentially that could take that away, and that's what boards are being elected to, and representatives are being elected for, is to represent the majority of the group that is really concerned about that. What's being taken away by that? I don't think anybody, and I mean, I wouldn't mind taking some time and looking at the exact wording getting some feedback on what we want it to say, but we're just concerned with those things that we don't know of. And
Well, that's,
so if those lines are shut down and our
isn't that what
ventures,
fear is? Fear is fear of the unknown. We don't know what we're afraid of at this point. And so we're trying to jump into this with
I
both
think what
feet.
most people are afraid of is what's happened over at Escalante.
What did happen?
It's a ghost town, basically.
Outside companies are making money, not
Yeah,
Escalante.
I mean,
The money's leaving the county.
everybody's moving
yeah,
back.
everyone's moved, everyone's had to leave, and they're,
I don't think Escalante's dropped in population that much. I don't think Escalante's dropped in population that much.
has
Probably has.
School's on the verge of
It's
closing.
about to close and there's no jobs and there's that concern about what happened to us.
We don't have the possibility of that same level of impact.
And what
because we're
caused that?
already
Was it the National Monument that caused that? What were all of those
In their
people
case,
doing
it
on the
was.
National Monument that caused them to leave?
Cattle and timber got shut down by the monument over there.
There's
And we don't have
no
either
longer
one
any
here.
grading. There's
And we don't have either one here.
have a lot of county that will be affected by this.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Well, but the new designate, well, I'm not sure about the
I
mountain.
think we have 3
Sure.
permits on that mountain.
Sure, they'll be impacted
families
over
that'll be
time
impacted.
and maybe eliminated, but
It's
not.
It's 1.3 million acres is going to affect more than 3 families, cattle ranchers.
No,
Yes.
it's not.
I don't know how many there are,
I don't think there's more than 3 permits on that.
but none of
It's
our
not-
discussion on that has
There
any
might
relevance
only be
to
one
it.
from this side, there might be 1 or 2 from one side.
There's several families that will be affected by it.
Well, I can come to the 7.
Yeah, well, we're not in a position where we're as heavily reliant on those jobs that could possibly be affected as Escalante was. I don't think we face the same threat, but there's upsides and there's downsides, and a lot of it comes down to what we state in the first paragraph. It's a matter of who made the choice, and that's.
And the bottom line is whether we're affected to the extent Escalante is or not, they were affected. It was done the exact same way, and it's pretty obvious that at least certain portions of our federal government just don't care about the local people and what we are feeling, what we're wanting, and what's important to us. They care about what's going to make them look good to the majority of people who never set foot in our state or our area.
And then you try and put that in perspective, and is the government, who is control of 300 million people, going to be concerned about 1,000 people? Let 1,000 people tell 300 million what to do.
Well, they're supposed to. That's how our government is established to run. Yes, it is.
Of the people, by the people, for the people. Federal courts have made it of the person, by the person, for the person. The judges have, but no, the
The
Constitution
federal
isn't
government is
written
supposed
like
to, with the BLM and all the other entities that manage our land, they're supposed to manage it under the direction of local governments. They are very, very much going absolutely against what local governments are asking them to do.
Well, the monument just about went exactly what local state government wanted you to do.
No.
That's pretty much the proposal.
They say that, but it's not true.
That's pretty much the proposal. I mean, one of those state people did put in 1.3 million. But, like I say, this letter can be crafted, and like I say, crafted as dang stiff as you want to have it, but if it gets to the point you're speaking for all the people, I won't sign it.
So with the changes that we've made, then it doesn't do that, and so the question I would raise is whether we let this incubate for a little while, or whether we say with the changes we make a motion to move on it. We let it sit until the next meeting, so it has time. That might not be a bad idea.
I think that's a good idea, rather than make it, with the discussion present as it is, I would not make the motion to accept it even with the changes. I think we need to think about it.
I'm interested. The Blanding City Travel Council, are they for this? I mean, was this something that they would back 100,
Well,
is this what the
fortunately,
travel council wants?
fortunately, they're present and are about
We might find out when we have open forum.
Yes.
There's some members of.
Okay, I'm going to be really interested in this. So, now that we've had,
Remember, we're walking a line, you know, and I'm sure there's some people that would love to be way over here, and there's some people that would love to be way over here. That really is where this group wants to be.
That's what
Tribal
I'm saying.
council is
I don't-
representative of people who are most impacted by how that line is drawn. It's going to be.
yeah,
We'll want some
that's
input.
true, and that's why I'm wondering if we're talking about what travel council wants, or if we're talking about what
why we should wait.
I think.
right-wing radical wants.
If we've done it right, maybe nobody's happy with it. You know, everybody's a little disappointed with the wording. So.
The only thing I do know, if everybody's happy with you all the time, you've done it wrong.
That's for sure.
So we get.
Okay, any more discussion on this? Not right now.